Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes in sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and informative Corvette stuff. If you're new to our channel, we speak about Corvette fixes, Corvette education, Corvette buyer's guides, and basically anything interesting to do with the world of Corvette. So, without further ado, if you would like and subscribe the video, I would very much appreciate it. And today I'm going to start something new. My videos from now on are all going to start with a trivia question, Corvette trivia. I'm going to ask you the question and I'll give you the answer at the end of the video. So let's get into it, and the first thing we're going to do is ask that trivia question. Okay, for today's Corvette trivia question, it's actually a two-parter. First part is, in 1953, how many Chevrolet Corvettes were produced, and for a bonus point, in what American city were they made? Answers in the comments below. I appreciate it very much. Now, let's get on to today's topic. Everybody is getting ready to or putting their cars away for the winter, and even if you're not, this is a great time to attack one of the most unheralded but most serious problems that we have with the C3, 4, 5, 6 Corvette, including the 7. Is that the door hinges tend to dry out. Now, I did a video about this a long time ago, but today I wanted to do a little deeper dive. We've got much better video quality now, much better sound quality now, and I was able to take a bunch of pictures because I had an assortment of all those cars at the shop at this moment. So let's get into the locations of which to lubricate your door hinges on all C3, 4, 5, and 6 Corvettes. I believe the 7 is the same. I don't have one of those here today, but should be the same as the C6. Let's start with the C3, shall we? The C3 door hinge, which I'm showing you here, the upper door hinge on the passenger and the driver's side has a spring here, and what that spring does is it has these two rollers on the hinge. You can see those. And when you open your door, those rollers go over the hinge. It's like ka-thunk, ka-thunk. That's why you have two stopping points. You know, it's like halfway open, all the way open, right? So the key point to lubricate on all four hinges, upper and lower, you want to definitely get some lubrication in here in these bushings and around these pins. But the main point is you want to get lubrication on these rollers so that they're not drying out and they're gliding over that spring rather than getting caught on that spring and trying to get that door open. Now, if you'll see over here behind me, I've got pictures of the left-hand and right-hand door hinges that Alan's going to put up. You can see where the door hinge is located, and obviously it's like this on the car, so the rollers are on the bottom, so you have to get up in there and you can see where I'm pointing with my finger. That's where you want to put your lubrication. Now, obviously, having a lubrication squeeze bottle or a lubrication spray bottle that has a long hose on it or a long extension will allow you to be much more accurate in your lubrication. I have a recommendation for that, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. So, C3s, get the top and the bottom of the pin, and get the rollers by the spring on the top hinge. Moving on to C4. C4 went a completely different direction with their hinges, okay? Now, same kind of idea. It's a much more square hinge, but you still have the two rollers and you still have the spring. So they still have to go kabump, kabump over the spring. So you want a lot of lubrication in this area, and again, as much as you can get into where the pin goes through the hinge. Now, it's interesting because on the C4, these are actually mounted upside down with the pin sticking up on the driver's side, as you can see in the picture behind me here. So thankfully, with the C4 hood open, you have really easy access to this top hinge to get some good lubrication on it. So it's actually on the C4 on the driver's side, the rollers are going to be down here. Now, if we switch to the picture on the C4 passenger side, so much easier because now the rollers and the spring are at the top, really easy to get to lubricate. So hit those points and obviously lubricate the pins and the bushings on all four as much as you can reach them. Moving on to C5 and C6, they both use a very, very similar hinge to each other, but different than the C3 and C4. This is a C5 lower door hinge, okay? And the way, instead of having a wire spring that the rollers go kabump kabump over. They actually have a coil spring and a roller with divots in this arm. So as you open and close your door, this arm glides over and this wheel should turn and go kabump kabump nice and smooth. Now, in C5s and C6s, as you've heard me tell you many times, because those doors are basically just fiberglass shells and there is no real reinforcement inside of them, they're a weak point on the car. So if these get rusty and these don't want to turn or glide over the roller, that's where you can hear that noise, or it doesn't want to go past this bump or this bump, and it's hard to open the door. It is very easy to break the body, the fiberglass body of your door on a C5 or a C6. So I've got pictures behind me here of the C5, and on the C5 it's mounted kind of upside down like this with the spring and stuff at the bottom. So with the door all the way open, you'll kind of have to lay on the ground with your little extension on your lubrication bottle to get in there. Now on the C6, it's up on top. You can see the pictures behind me here of the C6, and the spring and the roller are both easily accessible, opening both doors, and it's the same on both sides, so you can really slather this with good lubricant, okay? C7 I believe is the same, but I don't have one here to show you. When I do, I'll do an addendum to this video. So now you're like, okay, Lyle, I understand all that. That's good information. You're incredibly handsome and we love you very much. But what lubricant do you recommend? I do not recommend WD-40 because WD-40 is a water displacer. It also tends to evaporate pretty quickly. WD stands for water displacement. What you want to do is you want to go with either a white lithium or a marine lube or a dedicated door hinge lubricant that A, isn't going to gather up dust and crud, which is important, and it's going to remain in place for a long time. It's not going to evaporate, it's not going to dry up. There's plenty of that stuff available anywhere you go. Any auto parts store will have something like that. But for you guys, one of the things that I like using here at the shop is actually this product here from Amazon. I like it for two reasons. Number one, it is specific for door hinges or anything that is moving in an enclosed area. It is made to not gather dust, and it comes with both a big bottle and a little bottle with a nice long extension that you can kind of get your hands up there and get the lubricant where you need it to be. It's like $11.98 from Amazon. There's a link in the video description below. Yeah, there it is. It's down there. So if you guys want to pick it up from Amazon and have it delivered at no charge, blah, 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 you can buy it from them. Again, I'm not selling this. I'm just telling you that it works for this application, and it's a good product, and it lets you get into those tight areas. So, in sum, make sure that while your car is in storage or while the temperatures are not hot, this is a great time to roll around in your driveway and lubricate all of your door hinges. Any questions, any comments, please put them below. Thank you so much. Oh, before we go, answers to your trivia question. In 1953, there were 300 Corvettes produced, most of which didn't sell. In fact, most of them were given to Hollywood celebrities and other people in the public eye. And they were built at a kind of makeshift plant in Flint, Michigan. It wasn't until later on that they moved to the big plant in St. Louis. So, thank you for paying attention, and we'll see you soon.